Hey, Barry Schaefer here, founder and director of Inward Resources. See if these prayers sound familiar. God, I hate my life. God, why do you stay silent? God, why do you treat me like an enemy? You may have actually found yourself praying these words at some point in time, and if so, you are in good company. These are actually words out of the book of Job, from Job himself, the poster child of suffering. His story is very familiar. He was the victim of a cosmic deal between Satan and God. Satan saying that if things get bad enough for Job, he would curse God and renounce God. So God gave Satan latitude to inflict great pain on Job, but not to take his own life. Job lost his fortune, his children, and his health. He had friends who made things even worse by trying to explain what was going on. And it was during these conversations that Job shared those honest feelings toward God. What's striking about this is that when the saga had all wrapped up, despite these raw, guttural comments toward God, at the end of the book of Job, God complimented Job for speaking accurately of God. It's easy to forget that there is space in our relationship with God for raw, guttural frustration and anger. As we've journeyed along in this vlog series on the subjects of loss and suffering, I hope it's been helpful for you in developing a personal theology of loss. But in thinking about this subject, I don't want to give any impression that if we simply have a theology of loss in place, that when bad things happen, that we'll be okay and fine and we won't really hurt. I can pretty much guarantee that that will not be the case. We see this not only in the book of Job, but throughout the book of Job. Bad things happen. But in the midst of these bad things, we see this honest give and take with God. We see people hurt from the circumstances of this fallen world. We see anger, anguish, and lament. But God can take what we can dish out. As we've discovered in this series, God did not promise to remove our pain and suffering, but He did promise many things in our pain and suffering. He promised His presence, His goodness, His redemption, and He promised to cry right alongside with us. My prayer is that these promises will make a difference as you navigate your own hurt and pain. I know, too, that this will take some time. It certainly did for me. When I was in the epicenter of my own grief and losing my wife Dana to cancer, these promises didn't matter. I remember thinking that even the promise of heaven could not penetrate my pain. But, as illustrated in Jeremiah 23, God's word kept pounding away at my pain until the rocks began to break into pieces. And it was this softening that allowed me to recover and for God's Spirit to do its restorative work. In this journey, it's been helpful for me to know that there is room for me to rant and vent and cry hard. And it's another great picture of the goodness of God. Thanks for taking a moment to check in. I hope that this 3-minute thought is as helpful for you as it has been for me. Thank you.